This is Jason Sweezy here from 4XPipSnager and Forex UTurn. Today is October 3rd, 2011. We're looking at the Euro USD chart, M5. Okay, here was 3 o'clock in the morning, which is 10 o'clock GMT at Forex Meta. Okay, we're looking for some trades. Let's go look. We broke resistance up here. Let's see if where this sucker lines up. No, it wasn't until way up here. So there was no trade right in here. But here, no, there was no trade here because we basically sold off of resistance. So there was no entry here as well. Okay. Um, if you wanted to buy a dip, you could have bought a dip, but it wasn't wise as it sold off resistance here. Okay, so basically then we came down. This never lined up with the filter down here. Okay, and in the US session, it was a quick shoot up and then take her down the other way and buy fake all the people like they love to do. Take out the stops, and it never came back into the trigger line to sell. But if you did sell, you could have got a retracement here and made a few pips as the filter was red, ready to rock. So if you sold somewhere in here, your stop would have been 57 pips, and it went down 59 pips. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. You would have done okay. Okay, let's move on to the 1 minute now. Okay, had a little freaky thing with the camera there for a sec. Okay then, so we'll scroll back in time. And we'll go to 9 o'clock GMT, which is 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And look at that. It was just one big chopping mess here. Filter was black at that time. This was the entry here to go long as we just pierced it by 1 pip. But down in the filter, it was black, so there was no trade there. There was no trade here because the filter did not line up. But I think we did finally get our trade right here, ladies and gentlemen, which was at 3:26 or 3:28 in the morning. So you would have had to wait an hour and a half to see this ideal trade setup, okay? So you would have got long here, and there's 19 pips. You would have got your 10 pips. But as you can see, I just want you to see that we only broke it by 1 pip, but that's what we need. That wasn't a strong resistance anyway. Neither was this. These are just spike ups here. So this was the major resistance up here. So, it was still a good to go trade, and it shot up in 1 minute about 20 pips. You would have been good to go. Good to go to load up your account with some pips. Yes, indeed. Okay, so that's the 1 minute. Let's now look at the pound. Oh, the pound. Look at that ugly spike up and down. Let's measure that baby. Whoa. 93 pip spike. Was that the news? You bet your little booty it was 5 minutes before. The pound is very risky to trade at around 4:30 in the morning. As you can see, this kind of stuff happens. Okay, so anyway, there was no trade in here. The filter was red pretty much all day, other than a few breakthroughs. So if you did get short after we broke through support here, this trade would have been at 14:10, which is in the US session. Around 10 minutes after 10. So you would have got in. Your stop would have been about 28 pips or so. You got 45 to there, came back up. You got about 75 to the bottom. And that's it for the pound. Let's look at the Swissy. Now, Swissy, oh, she's chopped up too. Okay. Here was our time to trade. There was no setup here. It was blue and black in the filter. Here, there was no trade here also. This would have been the entry here. There was no trade. It bounced off support. Plus, the filter was black. There was no trade here either. The filter was black. It's just like black everywhere. What's going on? Okay, so then here, somewhere up here, when it finally broke through this grinding mess, she turned blue. And if you got in here somewhere, well, she shot up. You would have made a few pips. And that's it for the snagger. Let's now look at the U-turn. Okay, U-turn gave us a W to buy and then an M to sell. If you were aggressive, you lost on the trade. If you were conservative, you made on the trade because you did not buy, because the filter told you not to buy nothing. It told you to only take short trades. Okay, so if you took a short trade here, you may have got in at around 33 or 33.10, something like that. Your stop would have been right up here, and down she goes. You'd be making around 50, 60 pips right now. Let's look at the pound. Pound, same deal. W and an M, okay? So same deal with the filter. If you were aggressive and you went long with the W, well, guess what? They whipsawed you. But if you were conservative and you looked at the filter, you only took shorts. If you took shorts, you took them at 55, and you would have got 50 pips out of the deal. And you could still be short because it still could fall hundreds more as they keep buying US dollars and selling euros. And makes no sense to me because both countries are screwed and tattooed, but hey, whatever the market wants to do, they want to take the US dollar way up again and then turn around and take it down again next year. Who knows what they'll do? They're funds. They like to push the price far in one direction, then they do a U-turn. Okay, I want to quickly go over my trade call with you here. Okay, so my last trade call was to buy. I believe it was to buy somewhere up here. I can't even remember the price. Was it 46 or 47 or something to buy at? I think it was. Anyway, so let's cancel replace that order now, ladies and gentlemen. I already sent the email, and I did send it in time before it was sitting, before it hit 33. So now the trade is to sell the euro at 133, okay? Usually I'd put the stop at the top of the monthly bar. This is a monthly chart we're looking at, okay? But I decided to reduce the stop a little and not make it so big because it would have been 1,000 pip stop, and I know that scares you. I'm sure even the 700 pip stop scares the living daylights out of you. But hey, this is a very strong bearish signal. Okay, this big bar, we broke out of this triangle, which to me was a flag. Okay, here's the flagpole, here's the triangle. Usually that's a bull flag to go up, but instead they took her down. So anyway, the trade is to sell at 133. Your stop is 140. Your first take profit target is 126. And for those of you, if it does go down there and you feel it's going to go lower, your second target would be 123. And that's it for today. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.